Hi again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit. Yep, yep. Yeah. And it was so hot out there in my other space that I usually shoot these videos from. And it got so hot out there that my camera went pew. And so I find myself having to go back to one of my other spots. I was talking to you about evil and how it uh, destroys, reacquainting all of us somewhat with our experience. And I had said that a big, ugly bill was being considered by the Congress, specifically in the Senate at that time, and they were debating. And what it really does is causes all kinds of pain, all kinds of sufferance to people throughout the country. And for what benefit? The benefit for, as which is obvious, is to make the rich richer, and by taking away from the poor and having the middle class, they say, to pay for it. In other words, just a scam, just a Ponzi scheme of life, and everything that really is throughout the world similar, because there's only a system that's proper, and that's the system that works for everyone. And any system that's outside of the design is never going to work for everyone. And so that we should encourage people to wake up. But for some strange reason, they stay asleep. Well, it would take these pains that's designed to make people take them on the front line to really feel it. That's usually when people want to stop it. But remember, right is on your side. They have been denied the love necessary to care for others. They are begging to see. Now, what I'm saying there is that people who usually are doing all this hating it, for instance, this bill saying, you're going to cut health care, you're going to cut a lifeline to so many people, and they are saying, go for it. These people have been taught that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like a foreign language. Whatever they were taught is different from what someone else was taught, and their language tells them that it's okay to abuse people because that's what that's connection. That's their connection to life. And everyone, perhaps, some people say everyone has the connection, but each one have the opportunity to change. And I'm sure that must be true because I have changed, and I'm here because I want you to change. I want you to change. Yes. Now, there's a guy in the White House with Donald Trump named Stephen Miller. Now, he's one loveless American, and he's been so mistreated as a child, and I would say through life. He rises up and he wants to give evidence to the fact that millions of people should just be eliminated from the earth. Just like to see them destroyed in any kind of way doesn't make any difference. And evil justifies this for creating the best world. They don't know it, but when we see how far evil is willing to go, listen up. When we see how far evil is willing to go, even in the past election, you had a Democrat telling the American people where white supremacy has been reigning supreme ever since America's been here. But the black person running for president says, look, we're not as good as we could be or should be, but we are better than we will be if you vote for these other people that's coming at you. These people do not care anything about you. We've been trying. We've done some struggles, and we've got a lot of things done. And they have tried to negate it by just lying, outright lying, utilizing money to give you that propaganda. But if you put us in office, we'll keep that going. Plus, we offer so many other things that maybe we can be able to do because we perhaps have come together. They thought about one thing: a black person. We had one. Now, a black woman, we never had a white woman president. Yet now, a black woman stepping ahead of us. There's no way we can have that to happen. So they did everything they possibly could to make sure that that black person wasn't just a Democrat, They weren't really against democratic plan. They were really against black woman. And so people who were really genetically associated with the black woman because of their propaganda and how they wanted to spin it, they went and voted for the person that told them all the lies, and they couldn't even get upset with it because the guy that they voted for, who deceived them, who told them all kinds of lies that he wanted knew they wanted to hear, is the same guy that had been convicted by their courts as being a liar, deceiver, you name it. And they said this is what they wanted, and this is what they got. Well, this guy here wants to say that they should all be wiped out. They shouldn't even have the right to exist. And what the evil gives justification for creating the best world ever. I wanted to say, if they will do this, and they will, then why don't the rest of us stop half stepping? Like the Democrats, they were half stepping even when they were talking and doing a little more than the Republicans. They still half stepping. So why don't we stop half stepping and jump out there bold as we can possibly be? Bold, I mean bold, and boldness that there's no shame in the game. Boldness in that you want to be happy in your life. And when you see everybody else, you just know they want to be happy in their lives as well. And you don't have to struggle with them. You don't have to compete with them to see who's going to get this. You say, what can we do together? Because we can't do it all by ourselves. What can we do together to make this thing work for all of us? And when you give it some thought like that, you'll find out the number one thing you can do is to play a part in life. Play a major part in life. Play that part that you love. And that part that you love, something happens by nature. It gives you your greatest joy. So now you got your love connected with your greatest joy. And actually, what it's doing is every last one of us connected together, creating all that we have determined is essential for our fulfillment and satisfaction. We don't have to suffer for nothing: food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, infrastructure, anything that's made by the hands of man got our name on it. Why? Because we came together to make sure that this stuff existed in abundance, that no one would ever have to be without it, that no one would have an excuse for lying, for cheating, for stealing, to hate, to be a racist, to be a bigot, to try to have some over others. No, none of that would have the right to exist, and doesn't have any ground to exist. Why? Because we got the secret of life, and that is to respect the one that put the earth here, the one who put all the resources here, knowing that he put it here for all of us. And we do not allow anybody to put their names on it and claim it, start saying how they can usher it out, or partial it out, so some can have it, some can't, money and all this stuff that people don't have. No, we're going to get rid of all that stuff. That is part of that evil. That is part of that hate. That's part of that old stuff that white God put up with. The same, and let me tell you why I say, I know some of you get pissed off me saying the white God. You probably saying, why don't you just say God? Because I want to know, I want people to know the difference. You put a God in that book that made look like he's white. So I don't want anybody thinking around here that now that we, the people that awakened, that some white God that allowed and permitted all this slavery and all this pain and suffering have been rehabilitated. No, no, no. This has no rehabilitation at all. This, my friends, represents the people. This white God that you have seen all this pain, that was the people. It has always been the people. It wasn't God. They utilized maybe through people's experience with God, manipulated to do the kinds of things that they do, that have been done, that's been justified in this book. No, my friends, love is not like that. Love is like that, not like that at all. How can you say love exists and one person somewhere is pissed because they're suffering? Look like the whole world would say, "Don't wait, bro. That got to go. What can we do?" That's love. Oh, he gonna no. But you don't know that. Where would you get that from? They told you about Jesus Christ, but they told you Jesus. They told you that Jesus said just believe, and others tell you this: be still and let God. Hey, you, my friends, have the power to create this hell that we're living in. We did this. We can blame people who played special roles in it, but it is by the power of all of us, or the lack thereof, that allowed this to exist. I'm coming to you, to every person on the face of the earth. I'm not initially talking to the governments. I'm not even initially talking to politicians. I'm not initially talking to people in power. I'm talking to the people who got no power. I'm talking to the people who've been abused all their lives. And even those who've been trying to escape but been falling right back down. I'm talking to all of you who pray, asking God to help, and pissed off because you haven't seen any help coming. I'm talking to all of you. We are the ones that's been abused. We are the ones that's suffering. We, my friends, are really truly the workers. Most of us who work. And those who don't work, it's not because they can't work or don't want to work. They just find themselves in a situation that has it just like this. And that's what we come to change. It doesn't have to be just like this. We can change it like we want it to be. And I'm talking about us. You see, we put those other people up there based upon where you live at, to say that they were to serve us. And we find out that was the trick. They got it there serving somebody else and haven't done a thing for us. We still down here at the bottom. So when you look up there and you see what's motivating them, I see their God, and their God looks just like them. But I see someone that cares. I see one that has compassion. See someone that's fed up with this, and he ain't white, and he wants to do something about it. In fact, he's going to do something about it, but he has to start off by telling you that it will take all of us to do something about it. When I say take all of us, I'm not. I'm trying to set you up so if they come kill somebody, they haven't done anything, because it's all about life. And you know the secret. You keep on going. And every time someone dies, it glorifies.